Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, US market remained more of a silent and was flattish. Today morning, we are seeing some positiveness in the US market, but the Asian market are seeing mixed reaction. We are seeing some downtick in China and Hong Kong, whereas the other market are seeing some positiveness. China private PMI, that is Caixin PMI, has come, which has come lower than 50 after a long time. It has come at 49.2 versus expectation of 50.1, and month on month 50.3. Anything below 50 indicate that there is a degrowth. So this is having impact on even commodity as well. Various commodities are down in China. If you see crude oil, that is more of a at around flattish level at yesterday level of around $72. But aluminum is down by around 0.6%. Copper is down by around 1%. Iron ore is the biggest hit which has taken. It is down by around 7%. In fact, it has come down to around $120. Somewhere a few months back, it was at around $200. So iron ore is seeing a bigger dent and quite substantial decline. And steel is following also. It is also down by around 2% today in China. Now, we'll be looking for employment data on Friday. The unemployment expected at around 5.2%, and new addition for job is expected at around 750,000. These figure will have some impact on the future course of Fed actions in coming Fed meeting in September. So that need to be watched how the figure comes. Now I'll request technical team to take up first.
Very good morning, everyone. This is Ayush Mehta. I'll be covering the technical part for the day. As we mentioned during the yesterday's call, Nifty showed tremendous move and made new all-time highs with a strong closing above 17,000. It gave a closing of 17,132. For today, if we take the cues from the global market, we feel Nifty is expected to open slightly on a flattish note, and it is going to be a slight sideways move during the day. Well, if we look at the closing of Nifty, which is 17,132, immediate resistance for Nifty is placed at 17,200. And if Nifty closes above that, we may expect a further rally towards 17,300 and 17,380. Whereas intraday support for Nifty lies at 17,070 and 17,000. 17,000 is going to be a very strong support zone for Nifty. We feel it is going to be a stock-specific market, and we request everyone to trade with strict stop losses. Moving on to Bank Nifty did not perform much as compared to Nifty in yesterday's session. It was a flat day for Bank Nifty in yesterday's session. It gave a closing of 36,000. It gave a closing above 36,500. For today, immediate intraday resistance for Bank Nifty is 36,700. And if Bank Nifty starts moving and give a closing above that, we may expect a further rally towards 37,000, followed by 37,250. Whereas support for Bank Nifty lies at 36,300 and 36,000. Moving on to Nifty Financial Services, it gave a closing above 18,000. It closed at 18,170. For immediate resistance in today's session for this index is at 18,280, followed by 18,400. And the support for today is 18,100 and 18,000. Stock specific, Laurus Labs good at the current level. One can initiate a long position for a target of 710. We have already initiated a buy call in this. You can take this call. Kotak Bank looks good in this session. We feel Bank Nifty might move, so one can have a target of 1810 with a stop loss of 7020. Well, that's all from my side. I request derivatives team to take the call forward.
Yeah, thank you, Ayush. See, on the derivative front, what we do is we look at the data. The data before 2 days was quite positive, and that is why we were very positive on the index. And you have seen this move that has come in as well. We've spoken about this in the monthly as well. Now, very importantly, it is important to see where the data is taking us. If you see at the open interest, Nifty open interest gone above 1.5 crores. The PCR has shot up to 1.66 odd. Even though we went up by 200 points yesterday, the VIX has risen by 10% odd, approximately 10%. So it has gone above the 14 level. So all this data suggests that one should now start to book some profits and hedge positions if you are not booking profits, because very likely going forward we might see Nifty hitting a roadblock, or stocks tumbling. So something like what happened in the last week of August. So very likely such a scenario is going to take shape because the data is such. So one should look out for the same. However, 17,000 level has been breached and we have closed above the same. Unless that is taken down, not very aggressive selling will come in. So once 17,000 is taken down, that is when one knows that we should now exit positions. Now, looking at the stock specific front, see, in the stock specific front, as I've been saying, Bharti Airtel and Reliance as a whole, the telecom pack should move up. Bharti, you saw the move in the last 2-3 days. A good move has come and it can still continue. So one should continue to long Bharti, and it can go up towards the 700 odd levels. Even Reliance, I believe 2350 is likely. The open interest is positive. For the banking sector, AU Bank has witnessed a tremendous amount of fall along with an increase in open interest. So that is one stock which can probably witness more selling, and look out for more banks as well. See, Bank Nifty hasn't crossed above its all-time highs of 37,400. Even though Nifty went from 15,500 to 17,000 levels, Bank Nifty hasn't moved much. And looking at the overall open interest, which was positive some days back, open interest has risen considerably in Bank Nifty, which will cause it to stop for a bit. So if you have taken banks, one should be booking profits. That's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental guys to take over.
Good morning, everyone. Today, two IPOs are opening up. First is Vijaya Diagnostics. It's one of the largest and fastest growing diagnostic chain in South India, mainly focused on AP and Telangana. They have an integrated model wherein they offer both pathology and radiology, unlike much of the listed peers. They also have an hub and spoke model where they have one main hub, which is a main large lab, um, and a big center, and with that there are many spokes and or diagnostic centers are attached to it. So that's the model we have seen in other peer group companies also. Overall, if I talk about the financials, the company is doing good. They have grown at 13% CAGR between FY19 to FY21. And the key note is because of the radiology business, they have a high capital intensive business, which is done at the start of the business, and later on with the more and more business comes, and because radiology the revenue per customer is higher, the economies of scales also come kicks in, and also the opex are very low. So the EBITDA margins have been growing since FY19 and reached to 44% in FY21. Overall, we are positive on this company and subscribing for long term, because the growth we believe at that, as I said, is 13%, is little lower than if you see the if you compare with the listed peers, and also the industry per se is growing around 10 to 12%. So this is not an extraordinary growth. And also the valuations, if you see, it is coming 32 times EV by EBITDA, which is at par with the listed peers. So we believe this is a fair valuation. though we are positive on the company and the financials, looking the financials and the looking the robust industry, we are recommending subscribe from the long term point of view. Other IPO which is opening today is the ME Organics. So it's a specialty chemical kind of a company, and they produce APIs, intermediates, and generic active APIs for NCEs and other regulated and other products. So this is kind of a specialization and niche segment in which in the specialty chemicals. They are coming out with IPO of around 570 crores, which includes 200 crores of fresh issue, which they would use to repay their debt and also to fund their working capital needs. So they have a strong portfolio until now applied for 8 patents in India based on their R&D skills. They are also extensively geographic presence and have do exports to around 25 countries and export revenue constituted around 57% of their total overall revenues in FY21. So, and they're also, because of the specialized and niche product segment, they have high entry barriers, and it is very difficult to replace a player or a vendor uh, in that uh, uh, application, because the regulatory framework is quite high and the timelines are quite high. So that is why there are high entry barriers. Overall, there is a consistent performance posted by the company. The sales has growing at 30% or so. In the FY21, they grew by 42%. They have a good ROE and EV. If you compare on the valuation basis, the company is coming out at the upper band of 610. The PE comes to around 41 times. We have compared with Aarti Industries, Vinati, and Heikel just to show that the kind of niche product segment they have. As you compared with the other companies, this is kind of attractive, and we are positive on it, and hence subscribing, recommending subscribe on this. Thank you.
Yeah, a few more news like Shopper Stop has sold crossword stores. There were around 29 stores in 13 cities last year. That was in last year. Year before that, it was around 41 stores. So they were anyhow downsizing the business in pandemic period. And this particular business was incurring losses since last 4-5 years. So last year they had incurred loss of around 13 crores. So this will act as more of a support to the financials, wherein the losses will get reduced. And we feel this is positive for Shopper Stop. Anyhow, opening up of the economy will have some positiveness for all these mold related stores and all. And we had seen some management changes also at MD level, and we feel that that will help it to revive the business. So overall outlook for Shopper Stop from a long-term perspective is positive. Apart from that, we attended the AGM of DLF yesterday, and management was quite positive for the industry and for the company in the coming period. There is a good demand which is there for the real estate in their key market, that is Gurgaon, wherein they have very large parcels of lands over there, and that can act quite positive for DLF as the demand revive and prices start increasing. The launch pipeline for the current year is quite strong. They may be launching around after first quarter of around 1 million, they may be launching around 7 million square feet in the current year. And they had an inventory of around ready inventory to sell of around 5,600 crores. So all these together will lead to higher booking for the DLF in the current year, and specifically in third and fourth quarter. So overall outlook for DLF from here also looks positive. Then BHEL has received one order of around 10,700 crores in the current for the EPC business, and that is a large order which BHEL has received. The current order book is at around 1,02,000 crores. So this is more of a 10% incremental to that. And yearly turnover of the BHEL is at around 16,000 crores. So that also indicate that the order size is quite big. So this can have a positive impact in today's trade. Whereas overall outlook on BHEL, we don't have a very positive view, as the current financials and the order booking, wherein they are incurring huge losses. Even in the last year also, they had incurred very large losses. So the current order book profile is not so great, which is not generating good return. Even this order also, wherein the if we see per megawatt turnover, per megawatt rate of around 3.85, which looks bit aggressive, and as such may not be giving great profit for the BHEL. Apart from that, Maruti has said that they will be short of semiconductors and will not be able to do production more than 40% of their usual capacity. So that can act as a negative for the Maruti. In fact, today a lot of auto companies will also announce their monthly figures, and that will also drive the auto shares prices. Then AU Small Finance, yesterday we saw a sharp decline in that particular shares, mainly driven by the news of their internal auditor resigning. And after market, management has confirmed that the internal auditor has resigned, but the decline was really substantial. So we had seen their chief risk officer also resigning few days back, and then now internal auditor. So that is creating some negativeness in the stock in the near term. Company is having a con call for to clarify and all that, and we'll come back on that post that call. Then Vedanta will be announcing interim dividend today, so one need to keep a watch on that. They may announce around 15 to 18 rupees dividend in today's board meeting. That is what the expectation of the market is. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.